The hype is certainly building up around Denis Villeneuve's Dune Part 2. That's going to be hitting theaters on March 1st. Now, I did not get to see Dune when it came out in theaters. I decided to see Ron's Gone Wrong instead, and I was also getting a bit busy with it being my final year of high school. And when I look back at that, I just want to kick myself in the ass for not wanting to go see this movie in theaters, because Dune is just one of the most okay. It's easily like one of the most ambitious, biggest scaled films of this decade. Yep, we're talking about yeah, we are. But yeah, let's talk more about Denis Villeneuve's Dune, or Dune Part 1. Man, this movie was just so big. It's just, the scale of this film is unbelievable. Which should be no surprise, because Villeneuve Villeneuve did Blade Runner 2049, and that had such a fantastic scale to the world and story of that movie. And in Dune, he was able to kick that scale up to 12. There's just so much going on, and the film just takes all this time. It takes as much time as it needs to develop, like, how does the world work? How do the characters, like, what are their motivations? How does all this stuff affect the story? And yet for being almost 3 hours, this film was just able to go by really well. I feel like that's a great testament to this film's story, and just like the writing and directing. Another big thing about this movie, alongside like the universe, is the cast. Let me tell you, like we've been getting a lot of like movies with so much A-listers, but this is one of the best ones to have, like, of that genre. Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, Oscar Isaac, Jason Momoa, Rebecca Ferguson, Josh Brolin, Javier Bardem, Dave Bautista, one of the Skarsgård actors. Who else? Stephen McKinley Henderson. Just crazy. The amount of talent they got for this is just crazy. Chalamet is just such a fantastic job as his character. As Paul. I just loved his character. I loved all the other characters. They were just so great. Yeah, that's just what I have to say. I don't want to like keep like it's I do these unscripted, so you know. Hans Zimmer's score was also just so fantastic. And like the kind of throat singing esque stuff in certain parts, and just like music towards the end during the raid scene. It's just all great. Something else that's also great is the fight choreography. Like whenever they're training, like doing all this, and then yeah, I do like that. Cinematography is gorgeous. Great Fraser doesn't disappoint. I do think like one problem I do have, it's something that's commonly criticized with this film. It's not that it's not the main fact that like this is one part of a bigger story, but it's just like the sound. Like sometimes the music kind of sometimes you can't hear the dialogue too clearly, and the score kind of takes over it. Which, it kind of like I do want to hear what some of the characters are saying. Like one area where I really noticed it was when, let's see, Brolin, Chalamet, Isaac, and one of the other characters are out in the desert and they see the worm, and when they're trying to escape, Oscar Isaac is trying to talk, but then the score kind of takes over, and I'm like, yeah, they could kind of lower the volume a bit, but other than that, a fantastic, just ambitious film. And yes, I will be seeing Dune Part 2 this spring break. I don't know if I'm going to get the popcorn bucket. I would love to if I could. And I'm just really excited to see where the story is going to continue.